What is going on, guys? Jack is back, and Jack has been in Tokyo for the last 10 days. Why? I've been there for my first event of the year, the Tokyo Osaka Cannonball Record attempt. As part of this week's video, I'm going to show you a little bit about the lead into that event, my travels down to Japan, preparations, the couple of days leading into the event. But I'm not going to tell you about the record itself. I'm going to save that for a video which is dropping in the next couple of days. This is all about the pre-event and how I prepared for this event. So first things first, a little bit about the Cannonball. The Cannonball Route is a famous route that exists in Japan that connects Tokyo and Osaka, two of Japan's largest cities. It follows route number 1, the first road to exist in Japan, and it is 520 kilometers in length and with 4,200 meters of elevation. You travel through Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya, Japan's 3 largest cities. There are 20 million people. It is absolute chaos, but that's what makes it fun. The time to beat was 19 hours. Doesn't seem that fast, and admittedly, I didn't think it was going to be that hard to break the record. But when I arrived in Japan, I was pleasantly surprised by 1, the number of people, 2, the number of cars, and 3, the chaos that is Japanese traffic and traffic lights. So Osaka is a crazy place to ride. I swear I've almost been knocked off the bike 10 times just trying to find a bike path I can ride on. I'm meant to have a few efforts today. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think a major city is the place to be doing efforts, so I'm just going to spin the legs out and enjoy these cherry blossoms because this place is amazing. About 10 days ago, my partner Mary and I set off south for Barcelona. We jumped on a plane and flew across to Poland. From Poland, we had 6 hours in an airport. We then jumped on another plane and flew south to Tokyo. Around 24 hours of travel in total. We arrived in Tokyo pretty bloody tired. It was a cultural shock. It was crazy. Living in Girona is a very relaxed place. Tokyo is not a relaxed place. There are lots of people, there are lots of cars, there's lots of bright lights, there's lots going on. It's insane. In a good way, I'm not complaining. It's a super cool chaos. And if you haven't been, I do recommend it. So we arrived, we went straight to the hotel, we checked in, we had some dinner, and we went straight to bed. Jet lag is a bitch, and we were suffering from it big time. The following morning, we were still suffering from jet lag, and we were up at 3 a.m. We had some breakfast, we went for a walk, and then my parents arrived. So during COVID, I didn't see my parents for 3 years, and we made a pact that we were going to see each other as much as we could. And so they flew up to Japan, and they then spent the next week with us. So we jumped in the car, and we drove south to Osaka, the start point of the record. It's a 7-hour drive, straight through Tokyo to begin with, then up to Nagoya, and then down to Osaka. And it's chaotic. The roads are chaotic. I've said that a few times because it's true. It is chaotic. About halfway down, we stopped at a little hill. You guys may know it. It's called Mount Fuji. I jumped out and went for a bit of a ride. I needed to shake the legs out after the travel. I just needed to stretch. I was tight. I was, after travel, you feel crappy. And to get on a bike, I just spent an hour and a half. I went for an easy ride. Didn't ride up Fuji, but I rode up a little hill nearby. Had amazing views of Fuji. It was great. And I actually felt way better afterwards. So we jumped back in the car, drove another 4 hours south. We eventually arrived in Osaka, along with the rain. All right, guys, we're on the first ride here in Tokyo. It is Monday, 5th of April. We arrived last night. My folks actually got in this morning. The plan was to drive down to Osaka, where I'm going to start the FKT attempt, back up to Tokyo. The traffic in Tokyo was crazy, so we're on our way down to Osaka, but I'm going to run out of daylight to get a spin in, and I want to roll my legs out before tomorrow, because tomorrow's obviously the day before the FKT. So I'm out here, halfway between Tokyo and Osaka. You guys may know the place. There's a mountain here called Mount Fuji. Quite a famous one. Amazing mountain.
And yeah, I've had a little berg. Basically, I'm doing an hour and a half, sitting on around 300 watts. Just sort of flush out the legs after the travel, and then back in the car for another 4 hours down towards Osaka. But damn, it's good to be getting this done. Great to be riding in Japan again, love it.
And we got some dinner and went to bed. We were all pretty shattered. And the following day was actually the day, I don't know what you want to call it, like the record eve, like Christmas Eve, but the record eve, the day before the record. I typically start loading up on food the day before, and so, this time was no different. I got stuck into the breakfast buffet. I ate everything. I ate rice, I ate curry, I ate miso soup, I ate eggs, I ate bread, I ate butter, like everything you can think of, I consumed it. There was coffee there. I also had a lot of coffee as well, and it was really good. From here, I then jumped on the bike and went for a ride. The forecast for that afternoon was rain, and forecast for the record itself was actually a lot of rain. And I decided I wanted to get a quick ride in before the rain started. So an hour and a half through Osaka, a slow hour and a half because the traffic is, again, chaotic. There's just people everywhere. Like, you can't build up any rhythm. There's traffic lights, you're starting, you're stopping, like your power's like spiking up, down, and it's not really ideal, but it is what it is. It's not a cycling friendly city, but it is a beautiful city. The cherry blossoms were out in full force, and it was definitely a sight. Like, it was definitely good vibes. So from here, back to the hotel, quick shower, and then some time just zoning out from the bike. So we went for a coffee, went to a local little coffee shop, had great reviews on Google. They made this super cool coffee in like this super crazy way. I've never seen it before. And while the coffee itself probably isn't the best I've ever tasted, I'm not a coffee snob, by the way, the process of making the coffee was the best I've ever witnessed. It was super cool and super nice to just see like a man and his wife running a little local cafe and doing something different. So, 5 stars for the process and for the atmosphere and everything. So we had the coffee, relaxed, went for a bit of a wander around Osaka, and then it was home to prepare all of my things. So preparing my clothing choice, preparing my food. This record attempt is an unsupported record. You can't take anything from anyone. You can't be given anything. So things like clothing choice, especially for harsh weather, are really important. Good rain jacket, obviously, good clothing, good merino base layer. These things, like, they're small things, but they all make a huge difference, especially when you're on the bike for 18, 19 hours. So I got all the things ready and then spent some more time relaxing. I did an interview, so I went and met with some local media and did an interview, and I then actually did an interview with our own film team. So there is a film coming in the next couple of days. This is, again, just a preamble. And from here, I just relaxed. The day disappeared pretty quickly. The following morning, I had to get up at 1 a.m. and so I decided I needed an early night. We didn't go out for dinner. We just went to the local Lawson. Lawson is like a mini-mart, a 7-Eleven. They're everywhere in Japan and they're really, really good. There's really, really good food options there. I got like a chocolate eclair. I got some fettuccine. I got like a sandwich. I got an onigiri. I got an ice cream. I got heaps because the following day I had heaps of riding to do and I did have heaps of calories. So I loaded up on the calories and then got into bed. Set the alarm for 1 a.m. and tried to get some sleep. Keyword there, tried. I couldn't really sleep. I got about 3 hours of sleep the night before the attempt. I guess it was just nerves combined with jet lag, combined with the craziness that is 24 hours of travel 2 hours prior. Eventually the alarm did go off. And I got up and got going and set off from Osaka north towards Nagoya and Tokyo. And I'm not going to tell you any more about the record as part of this week's video. You're going to have to wait a couple of days' time. There is going to be a film release that documents that whole record. So you guys are going to enjoy that. I did learn a few things as part of this lead up. I did learn that you need more than 48 hours somewhere before you undertake something crazy. Like, it was too rushed, there was too much travel, there was too much going on, and I didn't really get an opportunity to just chill and find myself. So in future, instead of 2 days, I'll probably allow 3 or 4 where possible. When you book a hotel room in Japan, you need to try and book a big one. 12 square meters was the size of our room. It was my partner and I. There was a bike, there was a whole heap of clothing, equipment, goodies. It was too crammed, and for that reason, I felt stressed. I felt like there was things everywhere, and I don't rate that. Like, I'm a very organized person, and I don't like to feel like I'm sort of living on top of myself, especially when there's equipment and preparation and those sort of things involved. So a big hotel room is good. And thirdly, always remember to chat with the weatherman before an event. So I seem to always cop bad weather. The first time I experienced this was in like 2 years ago at the Tour of France. It had 6 days of torrential rain. In 2021, the Portugal North to South record, again, 24 hours of rain and strong wind. Like, come on, give me a break. And then for this one, 20 mil of rain forecast and strong wind. Like, it's just not ideal. So if you can talk to the weatherman and see if you can get him or her to prepare some good weather, that is highly recommended. So there you go. There's a couple of learnings from this trip. Guys, that's it. There is a film coming. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So like and subscribe. Before I go, I am going to do a giveaway in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to give away the Rudy Project helmet that I wore as part of this event. It's a custom helmet, and I'm going to give that away to one lucky viewer. So stay tuned to work out how to win that. What's next for me? I'm going to go get stuck into some gravel. I've got a gravel camp next week, and I then have some gravel goals for June this year. So I need to go spend some time on a gravel bike and get reacquainted with gravel, because it's been like 18 months since I've been on a gravel bike, and I need to do some practice. So that's it. That's the end of this week's video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in a couple of days' time with the full-length film. Bush.